Chris here, and in this video we are looking at 3 new figures from Mattel Creations website. So 3 new Masters of the Universe figures. They are all pretty awesome. We're going to have a closer look at all 3 of them right now. Here's the cool boxes. Let's go. I like the cool brown mailer boxes that they come in with the little silhouettes of the figures and the accessories. So left to right we have Stonedar, Blast-Attak, and brand new, just got a couple of days ago, Laser Power He-Man. So pretty cool just in the brown boxes, but we are here for the stuff inside the boxes. So let's have a closer look. Mattel Creations have already released Rock On, which is another version of the Comet People, and I think that was the version I had growing up, but I missed that because sometimes with Mattel Creations exclusive windows they sell out very quickly because it's an American based site. They do have a time difference obviously, so sometimes it's like 3 AM or something here in Australia, so I managed to miss Rock On, but thankfully when I woke up in the morning, Stonedar was still available, so happy to grab him. And as I said, he's the leader of the Comet Warriors, and he transforms into a rock because that's one of those weird Motu characters that we know and love. Similarly, Blast-Attak, I never had him growing up. He's one of the bad guys, and you have a pump kind of thing, or a little gadget, and he blows apart, so he's a bit like a explosive kind of bad guy. And this has just been released. This is Laser Power He-Man, and a rare figure from back in the 80s, towards the end of the 80s, towards the end of the line. So yes, very happy to get this. This was unveiled not too long ago, and then here it is appearing in our mailboxes all over the world. So Laser Power He-Man and Laser Light Skeletor is appearing not soon after, hopefully. So let's open all of these right now. Stonedar here is pretty cool. As I said, I missed out on Rock On, but that's okay. I'm happy to at least get one of the Comet Warriors, and he's basically just got a simple transformation into a rock or a comet. It's got the familiar red rocks and the Master Universe logo, modern posing, retro play, and all of these figures come with the collector-friendly packaging, which means you can pull out the back cardboard and play with the figure and put it back in. Come on, and yes, you basically just pull it out like that. And yes, you can have a play, put it back, which is awesome. And here we go, he's fighting Multibot, which is also just released. And we have, I think that's Granita in the background there. I think that's her name. And yes, I think they released her in the Master Universe Classics line, and hopefully they will release her in the Origins line as well. Lovely, I love the way that they do this with the back of the card art. There's no text or anything apart from the logo. Just a wonderful display piece. And here's the figure with the mini comic and accessories inside. Here's the mini comic that he comes with, called Destroyer of Worlds, very ominous. That features obviously Stonedar, Rock On, and Evil Lyn, and the Meteorbs, which are like the weird egg-shaped creatures that would transform into other creatures. And again, they came towards the end of the Masters of the Universe line, the original line in the 1980s, so hopefully that means they're coming as well. So it's awesome that we still get mini comics with the Motu figures. Here's the little gun that he comes with. This is a very familiar gun. I think Rock On has the same one, and it's just got this like rotating satellite dish. A head all in one color, and the pegs basically mean he can go into his chest hole, or he can hold it in his hand. So a very familiar weapon. And here's the figure himself. Here is Stonedar. So you can see what I mean. Very odd, and it's that wonderful mix of kind of fantasy and sci-fi with kind of pipes and armor and stuff going everywhere. And there's no instructions, but hopefully it's pretty easy enough to just transform him into a rock, or rather a comet. I love the kind of two-tone blue. It definitely looks like a piece of moon rock or something. It definitely looks like a crater or a comet. And there we go. So there he is, transformed into a rock person. So a very simple transformation. You basically just fold him in on himself like he's doing a very impressive sit-up. And yeah, the articulation is still there though, which is lovely. So he's got a bit of a swivel. But yes, familiar joints you can see, but a bit difficult to move with all these pieces on him. His waist does move as well, and his knees move somewhat. So yeah, he does have the joints, but obviously limited articulation. But I love the colours, the blues and the reds and the golds. Somehow Master of the Universe, they take these weird characters and these weird colours and they mash them together, but somehow it works every time. Love it. And as I said, his gun can either go and plug into his stomach, so again, it's weird, but he's got a stomach gun, or he can actually hold it in either of his hands. He's just got some gripping hands there. It's probably going to be a bit difficult with the rock pieces, I'd imagine, but if you twist his hand in the right position, he can still go like that, and he's going to have no problem standing up, I'd imagine, because he's got the extra rock pieces. So there we go, there's a quick look at the wonderful Stonedar, and it seems like, according to the back of the package, and also with the mini comic, we've got some meteorbs and some other comet warriors coming, which is absolutely awesome. But I'm glad that there's not many Motu Origins figures left, and this is getting closer to completing the line in the Origins scale, so pretty awesome. There we go, Stonedar. Blast-Attak here with the interesting spelling, and again we've got the modern posing retro play, the Master Universe logo, bit of a description about who the character is, the evil blast apart robotic warrior, the shot of his action feature, and yes, his face doesn't look quite as cool as it does on the back of the package. Look at his accessory, and its top left corner says new for 25, but this was released in 2026, so yeah, I don't know, maybe there was some kind of delay or whatever when it was originally made. But anyway, and we flip it over, and again we've got no text, just a wonderful Master of the Universe logo, and we've got Blast-Attak fighting, I think that's Rotar, and then we've got Twistoid in the back there, and we've got King here sitting on his throne, and I'm not sure who that Snake Man character is, but yes, pretty awesome. So we have yet to get Rotar and Twistoid, so normally the back of the packaging is a hint as to what's to come, so hopefully we're getting those. But again, lovely piece of art with some slight embossing on it. So yes, there's Blast-Attak, and let's open him up. Again, we have the cool mini comic by, looks like the same artist. This is called Paradigm of Power, where it looks like we've got some kind of tech specs here in the back, which is pretty awesome. I wonder if that's the actual original blueprint, whatever, schematics of the original figure. And then yeah, we've got Scareglow and a whole bunch of evil characters featured inside, but no actual panel of Blast-Attak blasting as an attack, but it looks nevertheless pretty cool. And it comes with a couple of accessories, including his very weird kind of funky looking, is that an axe, is it a bow staff kind of thing, some kind of contraption, and then we've got the little gadget which allows you to kind of plug it in, pump it down, and allow him to Blast-Attak. We've also got the little piece of paper, so he still does have the familiar modular part, so he can take his arms and his boots and his head off, which is cool. And I think this may be the first Master of the Universe Origins figure that actually comes with instructions like this. I could be wrong, but that basically shows you what you need to do. Very IKEA-like, picture heavy, but it's pretty cool. You attach the trigger cable, you press the button, and the figure bursts open, and then you basically put him back together and do it all over again. So that's pretty cool. And here is the figure himself. So yeah, pretty awesome. Again, we've got grey, gold, green, black, kind of an aqua turquoise kind of face. It's not the best looking face, if I'm honest, but nevertheless. And as I said, yes, you can, even though he's kind of an explosive figure, you can still pull some of his parts off, which is fantastic. So yeah, pretty awesome. So you can certainly use that modular function and swap him with other parts if you want, other characters. But let's actually blast him apart and see how that works. I've never actually tried this, so this is the first time. So yeah, basically just attach the cable in the back. There's a little slot on his back there, so that fits in very easily. And then you use this and you press it down, and apparently he should split down the middle. Oh, that was seamless, actually. Yeah, very impressive. And inside he's kind of got some pretty cool kind of electronic cybernetic bionic parts, which is pretty awesome. And then obviously he just clips back together pretty easily. But yeah, I like that. I was wondering what's going to happen with his head, but it's obviously just part of one of the sides. So yeah, we'll try that again. Just plug it in, press the button, Dear. I can imagine how much fun this would have been back in the 80s. That's a pretty awesome figure. And as I said, he comes with his little weird axe kind of weapon, and he's got two hands which he can hold that. So yeah, there we go, pretty cool. So yeah, another oddball character with a pretty cool play feature. It's good that the Origins figures do include the play features on some of their figures, because that's what they're known for. That's their main gimmick. I mean, his name is Blast-Attak after all, so if you're going to make a figure like that, you will certainly hope that he would blast apart. So there we go, one more oddball character, Blast-Attak. This is the one me and many other people are most excited about. This is Laser Power He-Man. He was released in Europe only, I believe, in 1988, so obviously towards the end of the Masters of the Universe original line. Laser Light Skeletor, who we can see on the back, was the other figure that was also released. So yeah, didn't get a huge distribution, so the vintage figure from the 80s is very expensive, as you can imagine. On the back there, we've got He-Man himself in that wonderful blue kind of costume. We've got Skeletor, and we've got Strobo, who is a very obscure kind of cosmic enforcer guy, so hopefully we get him. And then on the back we have Skeletor and He-Man fighting, wonderful embossed as always, on looks like Eternia, with the kind of monorail and the bridges and all that kind of stuff. So yes, very excited. So this was a surprise when it was unveiled, not only that long ago, I think it was like February last month, and here we have it in our hands. So I'm very happy to have a Laser Power He-Man. Let's open up and see how powerful he really is. Again, we have a cool mini comic with the same artist. There's no credits, unfortunately. I believe the original vintage mini comics had the writer and artist, but these don't, which is a bit of a bummer. But yes, very new adventures of He-Man focused with the designs here. As you can see, he's getting some new armor by the Sorceress there. He's battling Skeletor, so that is called Doom from Tomorrow. And then here is the figure himself, which is lovely. So yeah, I really love the blue, kind of pops, and this is probably the most sci-fi version of He-Man. Obviously we're familiar with his usual power sword, but here he's got a bit of a arm gauntlet kind of thing. He's got a H rather than the cross, and that head sculpt looks a bit more like Dolph Lundgren, I guess. Well, that was kind of the rumor or the idea at the time, because the movie came out I think in 1987. So towards the end of the original line, they tried to do a different head sculpt to make him look more like a Dolph Lundgren. But yes, charging into battle with silver gloves and a blue underwear, but looking pretty awesome. And obviously there his sword, which he can hold in either hand, but obviously it makes sense for him to hold it in his right, which is cool. And he's got a big chunky backpack. I mean, I'm sure they could have figured out another way to do this, but I guess they wanted to pay homage to the original. And in case you're wondering, yes, he still does have modular parts, according to the little pamphlet that you have here. So these again are little instructions, and yeah, it tells you what to do and some modular parts, which is cool. So yeah, that's all the stuff that he comes with. Let's put some light into this laser. As you can see, just on the back of the box, it kind of gives you instructions as well. So the actual sword can go in the little side part there, which is awesome. And it already comes with batteries, which is lovely. And yes, so but it does have instructions how to replace them. You basically need to take this harness off, and on the back there, on the inside, just flush against his back, there's a little hatch. Use a screwdriver to open it up, and it takes 3 AAA, I think, batteries. But yeah, it's already got batteries inside, which is awesome. And that basically means that you can take it out, put it in his hand, and start going lasery straight away. So the button to activate it is on the top. There's just a little tab which you need to pull, like you do with a lot of electronic toys. It comes packaged with a little plastic tab which stops it from being activated. You remove that and it's good to go. As soon as you do, press the button on the top, and there we go. It's kind of got a flashing strobing kind of thing. And to turn it off, again, just press it once, and to hold it down for a couple of seconds, and it stays alight. So there's 2 different lighting options. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll have some shots later in a bit more of my darkened room, but for now that's pretty awesome. So yes, certainly a pretty cool light, and it's relatively sturdy as well. Like, obviously it's made of plastic, but it's not very breakable. But I do like the details on his costume as well. It's pretty much just a silver and blue but again, a very sci-fi kind of look with all these little, you know, details on his boots and that kind of stuff, and a very chunky backpack. But yes, a pretty cool laser power He-Man there. Very happy to add this guy to my collection. Blast-Attak, Stonedar and Laser Power He-Man. I'm pretty happy to add all three of these to my collection. It's so awesome just to have classic Master Universe figures all in with modern articulation and looking just like they did, as you remember, back in the 80s. Laser Power He-Man, it does have an auto shut-off feature, so it won't stay on forever and drain the batteries, which is cool, so you can just play for a little bit and then it'll shut off by itself. All three of these figures are also available still on Mattel Creations website. I know they have, it's an American site, but there's also like a Mattel Creations Australia and probably other countries as well. They don't offer all the same figures that the US site does, but the shipping is very cheap and fast. As I said, I've got all three of these figures, particularly Laser Power He-Man, very quickly upon ordering them. And they've also got, still up at Mattel Creations US site, they've got the artist James Jean. He has collaborated with some very interesting designs for He-Man and Skeletor. There we go, the laser power has all lasered out and auto shut off. But yes, definitely check out and sign up for Mattel Creations website if you want to get some exclusive figures like these three. But yes, did you have these original figures? Are you going to get any of these or all of these? Are you excited that Mattel is still pumping out some of these wonderful Origins figures to help us relive our youth? Very happy indeed that many of us who never able to get, particularly this guy, back in the day in our collection today. That is awesome. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll catch you at the next video. Goodbye, geeks.